Hello everyone and welcome to another match that I've played in our tournament Sofia CrossSwords 2022. This is another match with Andrei Chirlesan, who I've already fenced with several times in competitions. In our first exchange I go for a shallow leg cut and then followed up with a thrust to his neck. As I've jumped quite a bit in, I couldn't really protect myself from his afterblow, but in this rule set it doesn't count. In this tournament and my plays lately, I've been trying to focus a bit more on thrust, and my play is a bit more linear than before. However, this tends to work quite well currently. In this exchange, I attack without really preparing the strike well, so it's easy for him to displace. When we go into close distance, there are some small taps on the hands, but they weren't really counted. In the first couple of exchanges, I was holding the initiative. This helped me land my first strike and then almost lands a second one. So here Andrei decides not to let me do it anymore and goes in with a series of cuts. While I'm waiting for his feinted attacks to actually come, I miss his real one that goes to my arms. This is the moment to mention that I am completing this video more than half a year later. I started it in November 22, but this is now July 23. So I'm going by the results and what I see now in the video and not by memories. This has to be one of the riskiest exchanges I've tried recently. It basically just goes in and goes for a strike to the head while completely ignoring the opponent's sword. In most of the cases this happens to put their sword on my right side and they miss me, but it's very risky anyway. It did work this time though, and after he missed me, he cannot do an afterblow due to the rule set. But this is very dependent on how you like to play this game. Andrei tries a more defensive posture this time, with his right ox and fluke. I once again release the sword for left-handed strikes. He parries it and moves back, but during his attempt to regain position, I jump in with a thrust. I barely reached with the thrust and I think the judges actually didn't see it and he said it himself that it reached. In my continuation in the attack I did reach him again, but he had already stopped. I will use this time to mention that in our tournament format, the judges are actually fencers from other pools. In this case, one Romanian, one Bulgarian, same as the fencers. I once again take the offensive, attempting a strike from long distance. I cannot quite reach him and we go into close distance. Andrei attempts a grapple, I attempt another strike, but the judges stop before anything happens. Here Andrei tries to change the game again. Instead of waiting for me to come in, he jumps in with quite a spectacular lunge forwards. He misses his initial thrust and then we unfortunately double. Here he tries to move to the side, but the field is narrow, so he cannot really go too much to either side. When he aborts his attack, he gives me an opportunity to go in for another strike to the head. I do stop myself this time, so I don't go too far in, and I can keep my parry even though he did not attempt an afterblow. I guess I may be getting a bit tired or impatient here, as we only play until 5 hits and I am 4-1. And I start making massive mistakes, as this one, as I blindly jump in, get hit on the hand and then the head. Here Andrei already got the word that I'm attempting thrusts, so he keeps his point forwards. I do try a guide slam against to his leg and then jump in with the thrust after he is going back, but I do not reach his prepare. He did kind of miss me, although I'm not sure how I would actually count this one. But the judges say it was not a clear hit and no exchange for either of us. Video here is a bit bad, but only for this exchange as it was tried with a wider camera view. Andrei jumps for a hit to my hands. I do parry it, but my point goes too far down. I do go after him, but he turns back and I cannot quite reach him, and they stop us as I should not attempt an attack to his back. Back to normal view camera now. We move a bit more. We try some different positions. He tends to keep his distance now, but he's prepared for me. His initial attack is a bit weird. He did not reach me, but I did jump too late. By the time I started my attack, he did recover and made a perfect thrust while defending himself from mine. Keeping his hands and sword high, he also defended from my attempted afterblow to his head. Now we both move to more retracted left hook with the short edge up. He probes forwards. He probes again. When I go in, he parries it and I try at swerve. I only reach the protection that is flowing down as his arms were higher, so it doesn't count. Another no exchange. I attempt another explosive going into close distance. We exchange several attempted hits at very close distance with nothing really happening there. Another mention, we did have only 7 minutes of fencing and judging combined, so what you will see now is the final exchange of the match. Andrei jumps in, he goes for a cut to my forearms and then closes the distance to remove the option for an afterblow. I hope you enjoyed this match, as I did. I also have some newer matches with him that we'll see later on.